Hey, Brent here from Older Home Specialists. All right, I wanted to make a video. I'm probably going to make a couple different videos about how to set timers. There's basically a few different types of timers for the most part that are used. There's all kinds of different timers on the market, but really the ones that we see the most of are going to be like the Hunter, the rain dials, Irrigation. Sometimes you'll see older rich dials that are very similar to set, Orbit, Rainbird. Those are some of the main manufacturers. So if you have a video for each one, and you can keep the video for your timer, that's going to help you out at some point. Um, so one thing is I get lots of calls, and people will call me and they'll say, hey, I think I need a new timer. The timer's just not doing what it's supposed to. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll talk to them on the phone, and I'll just ask them some questions. And a lot of times I can talk them through it over the phone, just by knowing what model it is. But one thing is that number one, you have to make sure your time and date is set correctly. Because if you don't have that set correctly, the timer's not even going to know the current time and date, so therefore it could never turn things on correctly. But secondly, your start times. Whenever you set your start times, one start time, let's say it's at 6 a.m., that's going to run your entire cycle. That's not going to run just like one valve, or, it's going to run everything on that schedule. And 90% of the time, that's going to be all of your valves. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown here. Of how you would set a Hunter timer. Okay, so the cool thing about Hunter timers is no matter what, this is an X2 right here, but no matter what model you have, an XC or a Pro C, even the larger ones like the ICC and such, they're mostly the same. It's mostly the same faceplate that you're going to see here, so there's not going to be a lot of difference. They're a little bit different on the Wi-Fi timers, but for these conventional timers, it's pretty much the same. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and I'm set up here at the kitchen countertop, by the way. So first thing that I'm going to do is set the time and date. So right now it's blinking. It's saying 2026, and all I did was put that over there on time and date. 2026. There's a plus and a minus right here. Plus and a minus, and then right here there's a left and a right. Okay, those are the only buttons that we're going to be dealing with. So right now it says 2026. That's good. Let's say it was 2027. I would just move it to whatever year it was. Okay, so then we'll hit the arrow button. We'll go to the next. All I did was push that button right to the next one. Now it wants to know the month, so it already knows that it's July. That's good. And so now I'm going to go up to, it's the 2nd today. So now I've got it on 7/2. And then now you can see down here at the bottom, it says TH for Thursday. So now that I have the year locked in correctly and the month and the day locked in, it now knows, okay, I know where I'm at. So that's a good thing. And so now we're going to go over here to the time. It wants to know if it's AM or PM. So you can use this plus button or the minus button. So that's military time, that's AM, and then PM. So it's PM right now. And then right now it is about 340, 350. So I'm going to say arrow button. There you go. So now your time and date and everything is set. So now we're going to go right here to start times. So now it says A1. It's talking about schedule A, and that's going to be all of your valves. And it wants to know how many times do you want to run all of your valves. Well, I'd like to run all of my valves one time in the morning. So I'm going to go up here to 4 o'clock in the morning, and now that's gonna start the entire cycle. It's going to start with number 1. Once it's done with number 1, it's going to go to number 2. Then it's going to finish number 2. Then it's going to go to number 3. It's going to do all of it for you. All you have to do is program one start time. Now, let's say that you wanted to water 2 times a day. Let's say you wanted to water in the morning and the evening. Now I'm going to hit the arrow button. Now here's the second start time. This is not talking about valve 2. This is talking about the entire cycle running a whole nother time. So let's go down here to 10 o'clock at night. So now I have 2 start times. You can have up to 4 start times. So I'm going to leave 3 and I'm going to leave 4 off. Okay, so now that I have my start time set, we have the first one at 4 o'clock in the morning. We have the second one at 10 o'clock. And then we have 3 and 4 are off. All right, so now I'm going to go to run times. So now it's blinking on 1. It's asking, number 1, how long do you want that to run? Let's just say I want it to run 10 minutes. So I'll go ahead and I'll make it go to 10 minutes. Oops. Then I'll go to number 2 with the arrow button. Okay. Yeah, I want 10 minutes on that one too. Okay, number 3, that's our drip system. I want that to run longer. I'm going to run that for 30 minutes. And then 4, 5, and 6, it's going to be 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes. And then number 6 is our back drip, so I'm going to do that one for 30 minutes again. Perfect. So now the last thing that it's telling me is program A takes 1 hour and 40 minutes total to go through. That's what the last thing means right there. So now I'm right back at 1, okay? So now we're gonna go to water days. And you can see right here, it says MOTUWE. You can see the days of the week on the bottom, and there's a drop of water on each one. So it's blinking on Monday. It's asking me yes or no. Plus is a yes, minus is a no. Okay, so say we're in Carmichael, and let's say we have an odd address. So we're going to be on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So that would be no to Monday. So you can see a dash went through it. No to Tuesday. Yes to Wednesday. No to Thursday. Yes to Friday. No to Saturday. Yes to Sunday. So there you go. Now you have a drop of water on each one. Now you can put it back on run, and now it's set to go, and it's going to water on the days that it's supposed to. It's all set up. Now over here you have a couple other settings. Right here is off, so if it's raining in the wintertime, click it to off. Rains for a couple weeks, you don't want it to, click it to off. Whenever you want to put it back, whether it's 10 seconds later or 10 days or whatever it is, go ahead and put it back and it'll be just as you left it. Over here on this side, you have manual operation if you'd like to choose one valve in particular. And then if you're going to do that, let's say I wanted number 2, I'd go over to number 2, and then I would click it right back to run, and now you can see it activated number 2, and it's going to run it for 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to clear that out. Another manual option that you can use for this when it's in the run position, you can just hold this right arrow button down, and it's going to start the whole cycle. So that will run the entire cycle through. Let's say you only wanted number 2. Okay, well, you can skip over to number 2, and you can see number 2. So that's another way that you can do that as well. Over here, pump. Most residential's not going to have any use for that, but that's when you have a pump hooked up on the line in order to supercharge the water supply so that you can get more volume through the line. Most of you guys are not going to use that. And then seasonal adjust. You can go to seasonal adjust and you can see it says 100%. That means it's going to give 100% of everything that we scheduled for. If you want to, let's say you think it's really hot and you'd like to add to that, well, what you can do is you can just add some percentage. Let's say you added 20%. Okay, well, that's going to add 20% of the time that you already have on your program additionally to all of them. So that would add more time for the grass, more time for the drip, 20% more. So that's just an easy way that you can control it without having to go through. And let's say that it's really cool and you thought, oh, okay, well, let's just turn it down. I really don't need that much water. Okay, turn it down to 70%. All right, so then it'll water less. So that's just what that's all about. Normally it's just on 100%. All right, so the last button that we didn't talk about is this button right here in the center. It says PRG. That's your program button. All right, so we know that we set start times for one program. Okay, we have one program right now that's set to run at the 4 a.m. and the 10 p.m. Well, let's say that my wife plants some roses in the front yard, and those roses are on number 3, and those roses are her favorite roses, and they have to be watered every single day. But the water company's not going to let me water the rest of the grass every single day, so what do? All right, here goes the program button. So we have program A that we're on. We're going to go to run times, and we know that 1 was grass, 2 was grass, 3 is my wife's prize rose garden. So I'm going to turn that off on program A, okay? So now basically what we have is the entire program, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, are on program A. All right. So how does that help me? Well, now I'm going to go to program B. I hit that button one time right there. Now it says program B, and now it says, you see, number 1 has no minutes because that was the grass. I want to program a schedule that only has my wife's prize rose garden on it. So that's still going to be 30 minutes, but it has to be every day. So now I have now I have number 3, wife's prize rose garden, all by itself on program B. So how that's going to help me is I can go over here to water days, and I want it on every day because she wants a lot of water on these roses. So it's already on. I already have a drop of water on every day, so I don't have to do anything. It's all set to go. The only last thing to figure out is what time do I want this to start? Because if I'm running this every single day, I want to make sure it doesn't overlap with my start time for program A. So program A starts at 4 a.m. And program A, you remember, takes an hour and 10 minutes to go through. So that means that we would not want our start time to be anything earlier than 5:10 in the morning, because otherwise they might overlap. So we'll just do 5:15. So we're on program B. Our start time is going to be 5:15. Now, no matter what day this comes on, even if it's a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, it's still going to not overlap with the other schedule. So now this, basically what we just did, is going to make it run all by itself, a complete different cycle. So that's the reason for having different programs, so that you could tell different sections in your yard to go on different days. If you have a very basic standard yard, you're never going to use anything like that. It's only going to confuse you. Don't bother. Just get everything on the same schedule and figure out how much water each section needs, and you're good to go. But if you do have those circumstances, like let's say you put new sod in, and let's say you wanted it to start up, 4 times a day and just keep it moist, well, then you could set 4 start times for that new lawn area by using its own program, and then there you go. You can get it to do its complete job while the other one is still doing its job. So anyways, that's it. I hope that didn't confuse you. That's sort of the master's version of it right at the end there. I hope it didn't confuse you. If so, just stick with program A. Don't worry about it. But until the next one,